Next, Matt Cardona, the former Zack Ryder, debuted. Here's the thing. On one hand, I'm thrilled that the guy, one of the guys who got fired during a pandemic, is getting work. I'm thrilled for all the guys and gals who lost their jobs because WWE is a shit place to work at, lost their jobs during a pandemic and are able to bounce back and find some work. I could not be more thrilled with them. This is a man that WWE depushed after being told year after year, you've got to get yourself over. You have to reach for the brass ring. And just as Zack Ryder was getting over, WWE said, yeah, no, we don't want you to get over though. So I'm thrilled for him to the gills. And I'm really excited to see if AEW will be a good grounds for him to show what WWE dropped the ball on.
Ooh, yeah.
Now we'll see. However, they hired another guy. The women's division is suffering right now. It's been suffering for months. There were some glimpses of hope. Injuries are happening. There's a lot of shit stuff, but they're not pivoting to try and improve their women's division. Instead, they hire another male wrestler to the roster. Cameron, the former Cameron in WWE, debuted last night. She's Nyla Rose's partner in the women's tag team cup thing. If anyone thinks that Cameron, the woman who tried to pin someone while that person was on their stomach, if they think she is going to be the revolution they need, color me skeptical. I'm willing to give her a chance. Of course, we haven't seen her wrestle in years, but at this point, this does not bode well. And to me, bringing up the main roster of men up to a total of 62 signed men to 18 in the women's side, that is a 3-to-1 ratio, folks. All these decisions that AEW is making is proving to me that they do not consider their women's division a priority. They consider it to be on the B squad, maybe even the C squad, and that is really, really bullshit. Honestly, at this point, I'm done. I'm really, really done. AEW has to show me that they really have, that they truly have real interest in their women's division, and I'll be back all in on it. But I can't support it anymore. It is trash. Louis on the Wednesday Night Wars show podcast last night. Louis Dangour, good kid, 19 years old, stays up to 4 a.m. his time to talk wrestling with me and Alex Pulowski every Wednesday night. Louis made an excellent point. I hadn't even noticed. They stuffed all of their women's stuff on AEW last night into 1 quarter hour. Within the same quarter hour, you had Britt Baker, you had Sheeta's match, you had Cameron's return, and the blind drawing thing, and then no mention of any women outside of that quarter hour. So they don't consider their division to be a priority. To me, it's clear now. And you can be any type, any level of AEW apologist that you want to be. I've given them time. We've been told this since last fall. Give them time, give them time. We've given them time. Yes, COVID sucks. Yes, the injuries suck. But they haven't had any trouble keeping their men's division alive. Why aren't they doing the same with the women's division?
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
And as much as Anna Jay is probably a real good talent, and Abaddon is probably a real good talent, these are very young, inexperienced women that they're bringing aboard. Why aren't they getting the Nicole Savoys, the Jazzes that are still out there that can really bring what they need? They're not changing the world. AEW. Remember that stuff that they were telling us during the press conferences in the lead up? We want to do things differently. We want to change the world. Well, as far as wrestling goes, they're not changing the world. They're not doing anything different. In fact, kind of reminds me of what certain other promotions were doing 10, 12, 20 years ago in regards to their women. 20 years ago might be a little harsh. Let's say 10 years ago. Because this is not good. It's not good. Don't ever tell me. Don't even ever bring back the argument where is that, oh, but it's only a 2-hour show. Where are they going to put the women? Stop hiring guys. There's 62 men on the roster. And you still have a 2-hour show since the pandemic started. Or at least, look, they hired Matt Hardy, Brody Lee, but that had happened just as the pandemic started, so I'll give them a pass. But since it started, FTR, Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, Matt Cardona. So yes, there's only a 2-hour show per week, so give them a chance. No, they have to show that their women's division is a priority, because right now, it's all about the guys. It's really all about the guys. Are they getting shit dudes? No, they're getting talented dudes. They're getting high impact dudes. I'm behind that, but I also want them to get behind the women and make those types of big moves, big chess moves, like they do with the men. I want it to do with the women, because because a strong women's division in a wrestling company in 2020 is par for the course. And that's what the women who are employed by AEW deserve at the same time. Jesus Christ. I love AEW, and this is how I'm going to end this little tirade, this rant. I know you guys like the rants. This is how I'm going to finish it. Criticism always comes from a place of love, of true love. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You wouldn't tell your kids to be better in school if you didn't care for them. That's criticism, constructive criticism. I love wrestling, and I love AEW, and I think AEW is important. I want AEW to do well. I want AEW to succeed, and I want it to be the promotion that it always says it wants to be. Hell, MJF last night was telling us that it doesn't want to be the alternative. He doesn't want AEW to be the alternative anymore. He wants it to be the pinnacle. I want it to be the pinnacle as well. We as wrestling fans deserve more than an alternative. We deserve a truly great wrestling promotion that will have men and women competing on high stakes levels, that a company that will treat its talent well, that will give us interesting storylines, that won't insult our intelligence. We're so close with it with AEW. And it's so frustrating that they're neglecting one of the key components, the key elements that could truly set them apart. Could you imagine AEW with the quality of the tag team division, the depth of their men division, having a stellar women's division on top of that? Could you imagine? That's my dream. That's what I want. And that's why I'm angry. And that's why I'm pissed off. That's because I know AEW can do better. I want AEW to do better. This is passion. It's love. It's because I want them to succeed. Has nothing to do with hate. I don't hate AEW. I want AEW to do well. I want them to be the promotion that they want to be, that they said they were going to be. That's what I want.